Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Pip, and today we are talking about the DevStream for 7 Days to Die 2.0 release coming up this month. The DevStream was held by Latham, also known as Fubar Prime, on his Twitch channel. He's one of the senior developers for 7 Days to Die, and also with Richard Huenick, who is one of the two brothers who are co-founders of the Pimps and the creators of 7 Days to Die. So, the first thing they showed us was random world generation. It worked better and faster. It took them 2 minutes to create a 10K map, which is a new record, I think. They showed off the trees and roads in this new map. So, clusters of trees rather than just a endless batch of trees like we had before. Lots of new tree models. There are new roads and country roads, and they feel they're more believable looking at them. I think that's true. The next thing they talked about was biome and weather progression. So you have storms and you have biome dangers. Now you need to earn biome badges, which are earned through challenges. They likened them to a merit badge, which grants immunity to the biome's dangers. So, for instance, when you go into the burnt biome, then you get this message, thick smoke chokes the air, and you get a countdown timer that lets you know how long you have before you will be taking damage from that biome. So, you can go in for short amounts of time and then pop back out. And when you pop out, you'll have a little bit of a downtime before you're back to normal, but you'll get back to normal pretty quickly. So in order to get the biome badges, you need to do certain challenges, things like wear a specific piece of armor in that biome, harvest nitrate in that biome, loot in that biome, etc. And then once you're done, you go to your trader to get the badge. Now, biome badges do not protect against storms. Storms are a completely different thing. Storms are weather conditions, and they will be ranked from 0 to 100%. Once a storm is brewing, you'll get a storm warning, and it'll tell you to seek shelter. You'll have a 60-second countdown. Once the countdown gets to 0, you'll have 6 seconds before you start to take damage. So as long as you're outside in a storm, after that initial countdown time, you will start to take damage. You need to go inside in order to avoid taking damage from the storm. Now, another thing that was mentioned was loot caps. Each biome is going to have a loot cap. Basically, once you've looted as much as you can in a biome, the plan is kind of to push you out into the next biome so that you can get more loot, progress, and face more dangers. So we'll see how that plays out in the game, but, no opinion on it yet. We also got to see some of the perk trees. They moved some perks to the general tab. That would be things like armor perks, Master Chef, living off the land, lockpicking, and lucky looter. And all the other perks now have 5 levels each, and each perk tree, other than the new general tree, now has mastery perk with 5 levels in it, and that adds significant bonuses. For example, one of the agility mastery levels allows pistols to cause bleed damage. In order to access these mastery perks, you need to reach level 6 in that perk tree, and then 6 through 10 allows you to access the next mastery perk. There's new perk books, the Sludge Saga. So if you're a Sledgehammer player, or you've just always wanted to play Sledgehammers, you've got more incentive now. You'll get new perks and things from the Sludge books for using the Sledgehammer. Now, we also got to see new zombies. The Plague Spitter is a desert-based zombie, and he spits flies. No, those are not bees or zombies. He spits plague flies. It wasn't clear how much damage these plague flies do, but they're definitely an annoyance, and you can smack them with your melee weapon or shoot them with your ranged weapon, but the Plague Spitter, if he's at distance, will continue spitting at you. Now, once he gets up close, You can see that he just keeps hitting you like a regular zombie, but he sure looks cool, doesn't he? We also got to see the Frostclaw. Their ranged attack is to lob boulders. So they pick up a boulder, throw it, and it does massive amount of AoE damage. As you can see, Latham's hit points went down from a full hit point bar down to 37, so getting hit by one of those is no picnic. Now there are also new zombie classes. You have charged zombies, which glow blue, and their main thing is that they are fast. They have more hit points, and they have specific resistances. Then there are infernal zombies, which are orange, and they are massively stronger with more block damage. From what they say, they also drop high-level loot bags, so that can be a good thing. Another thing that they showed is that zombies can crawl out of and under 1-meter spaces. They can roam in a POI, and their pathing has been updated. They also mentioned that there are some updates to Navezgane. They didn't go into details, but we'll see what those are once we get the game ourselves. There are 3 new Tier 5 Wilderness POIs that are huge, 100 by 100. There's a quarry, there's a mine, and there are 140 new POIs coming to 2.0, including caves, which Richard liked showing off for good reason, because those are pretty cool looking POIs. Their goal for the wilderness is to make it a more interesting place with much more variety rather than just, a handful of POIs you get over and over again, having a bunch of different ones, which is a good goal, I think. They also created new icons for some foods, and they made new animations for food so that when you're eating, it no longer looks like you're eating a leather purse. There's also new medical animations for taking pills and the syringe. They showed off the costume effects or cosmetics. When you look at your player character, you'll see 4 slots below you. Those are your protection slots, your armor slots. And then you hit the wardrobe icon, and that's going to set how you look. In order to use cosmetics, you need to have found, bought, or made each armor piece that you actually want to display. In this case, Latham is wearing the primitive armor, and yet he wants to look like a biker. He has scrapped the biker armor, and now he can add it to his cosmetics. And you can either do it a piece by piece or a full set. You can also use this area to hide your helmet if you want to. Now, they did mention there will be Twitch drops, but they're not ready to share it, so I'm guessing that's not going to be in 2.0. It'll probably be in the next major update. Crossplay certification for console dedicated servers has passed, so consoles will be getting servers now. So some of the new stuff for servers is you can now spawn with friends. They have integrated Discord into voice chat, so if you have a Discord account, you can use that, or it'll just use an anonymous account. They're happy about the fact there is more challenge in the late game and that the loot cap will move you along from biome to biome. For the future, they are looking at getting more weapons and weapon types. They were going to work on Steam Workshop integration and, of course, bandits. So, to wrap things up, we have a new version of 7 Days to Die coming out, version 2.0. There will be the Streamer Weekend starting this Friday, the 13th of June, going through the weekend. And then on Monday, they plan to make Experimental available. And then, of course, they are looking at June 30th for the stable release. Thank you guys for watching. please consider subscribing and definitely put a like on the video if you lasted this long. And I will see you next week for some experimental gameplay. This is Player Pip saying, don't just survive, thrive.